What is up, guys? It's Fernando back with another Raw recap and review. This time for the March 30th episode. Boy, we had a jam-packed show. A lot of ups, some downs, some questions, and a ton of answers. So let's get into it. To start the show off, we had Cody Rhodes was on Raw. He comes out, says what's he want to talk about. This is normal spiel, and gets interrupted by Stephanie McMahon. Now, Stephanie McMahon comes to the ring and starts cutting a promo about. She's basically telling that this version of Cody Rhodes is not capable of beating this new evil version or '09 version of Randy Orton. That's pretty much all she was saying. She kept repeating it. She said that Cody wasn't his father, all this stuff. And basically the whole point of this segment was her saying that Cody Rhodes is unable to beat this version of Randy Orton. Now, what I got from this was just absolutely nothing. I mean, this didn't help the feud, in my opinion, in any way, shape, or form. No way did this help the feud. This was over on SmackDown is where it started, and he just randomly shows up on Raw and gets interrupted by Stephanie McMahon. And he goes in and says that she's dealt with it first. She knows what it's like dealing with Randy Orton because, of course, back in the day, she had to deal with him with Triple H. But still, it just made no sense. I think this was just a complete waste of time. This made no sense to me. Stephanie McMahon, this is probably going to be her only involvement in this feud, which makes zero sense. So the start of this show was just completely awkward to me. It made no sense. That whole segment was bad. I give it a thumbs down. Unless WWE comes back to this and it means something, then it totally was not worth it at all. And then the first match on the card we had was the street fight between the Vision and the Usos. Now, the match was pretty good in itself. There were some cool spots. Jimmy and Jay put Theory in a can, beat the living shit out of him with some kendo sticks. But it got really weird towards the end of the match. Logan Paul goes to grab his brass knucks from his mom on ringside. They're being discreetly, secret about it when it's a fucking street fight. So anything goes. Anyways, he goes to grab him. LA Knight, who is sitting on commentary, goes and beats up Logan Paul for trying to grab the knucks. And then while he's trying to pull Logan away, IShowSpeed is sitting next to Logan's mom, and Logan Paul grabs IShowSpeed and drags him over. The brass knucks get lost. Speed picks him up and accidentally ends up hitting LA Knight. Logan Paul gets the brass knucks. Jimmy Uso goes for a dive, gets hit, and Austin Theory pins him. And we have new tag team champions. Again, I thought this was weird. If you thought the tag team titles were lost and irrelevant and boring and sucked on the Usos, I'm here to tell you it's going to get worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse. This made zero sense. The tag titles were probably not going to get on Mania with the Usos. So now on the Vision, what am I supposed to do with that? It's 10 times worse. I mean, these guys have been absolutely irrelevant and been a clown show ever since Braun and Bronson got hurt. So this made zero sense to me. I'm thinking that this is literally just to get the tag titles off the Usos so they can go do something with the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. That's what that is. But the tag titles are going to be even more irrelevant now than they were before. This once every few months changing the tag titles doesn't do shit for it. So, and then it drags LA Knight into this with LA Knight looking like a goddamn fool getting hit by. I love IShowSpeed. I think he's great in the WWE. I think he's entertaining. But as a LA Knight fan, that was embarrassing. I mean, does this set LA Knight up for a match at Mania with the Vision, and who else is going to be his tag team partner? How does he get to Mania if he even gets there? And does he have a rivalry with fucking Speed? I'm not too sure about this. I feel bad for LA Knight. I feel bad for LA Knight fans. This is a disaster, and it is not looking bright. I thought the whole start of this show was a mess to me. But yeah. So let's get to where the show actually gets good. And next we have Liv Morgan comes to the ring and she comes to cut a promo. She basically tells Stephanie Vaquer not to talk about her family, like just keep her family off limits. Dom, the Judgment Day, everyone close and related to Liv, and eventually just tells Stephanie that she's doing that because she doesn't have any family here, which is a pretty good insult. And then goes on to tell her that Stephanie that her mom is trash, which if you're Hispanic, if you know you do not play about family, especially parents. So basically that was a good little segment. She's going off on Stephanie, and Stephanie comes to the ring and begins to fight her. Stephanie gets the upper hand, and then boom, she goes out to get a chair. She brings the chair into the ring, and we get the return of Roxanne Perez. Now, I thought this segment was great. Didn't do too much, wasn't over the top, and Roxanne Perez ends up beating up Stephanie Vaquer. Liv Morgan gets the upper hand, ends up oblivioning Stephanie onto the steel chair. This is what it needed to be. I liked how Liv was able to cut a promo, really cut deep into Stephanie Vaquer. All three women looked amazing. It was a great promo, great segment, and really got me even more excited to the WrestleMania match and what's to come with them. So, great segment. This is where the show starts getting pretty good. And then we get to the tag match with the Irresistible Forces versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This match was really good. No surprise here. Going back and forth match. Some real good spots. Lash Legend looked real strong. Nice spot where Bayley power bombs Nia Jax and then tags in Lyra. Lyra hits a moonsault on the Lyra Jax. Not Nia Jax. Real back and forth. And of course we get Charlexa and the Bella Twins come to ringside and end up DQing the whole match. Copy and paste of everything. But thankfully, we got our answer. We got some answers with this. We get a fatal four-way at Mania between the Bella Twins, Charlexa, the Irresistible Forces, and Bayley and Lyra. Now, it's not a ladder match, but at least it's a fatal four-way match, and the women's tag team champions are at Mania. I'm glad about that. I don't know what they're going to do with the next few weeks. Probably just continue to do the same bullshit. Copy and paste. Teams just interfering on each other. Maybe cut a promo or backstage segments. But overall, great match. Of course, ruined by the DQ, copy and paste. But we got the Mania match that we wanted. So I'll give it a thumbs up just because we got that announcement. Next, we have the Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman segment where they come to the ring. Paul Heyman does a normal spiel about Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar grabs the mic and calls Obafemi to the ring. Again, the crowd is what makes these segments. The crowd goes absolutely ballistic for when Obafemi comes out, and then we hear Adam Pearce saying, no, we're not going to fight, and then he brings a bunch of security, and Obafemi absolutely destroys the security. He picks this dude up and launches him onto the ramp, or the ramp area, hard concrete. Nasty bump from that security. And then Oba begins to circle the ring, eventually gets into the ring, and then we get Triple H. Triple H comes in and separates these two, tells them they can't fight. So we had a little face-off there, and then they just get separated. Brock leaves the ring, and that was that. Basically, I like it. Thumbs up. One still made Oba look strong, but this week it didn't make Brock look weak. It didn't make him look like an underdog, which kind of evens everything out, which I think is good for the build-up towards Mania. Overall, good segment. People wanted to see him fight. That didn't happen, but good segment. And next we get Penta versus Kofi in the one-on-one match. Now this match was really good from start to finish. Both these guys had really good chemistry, which kind of shocked me in a way. Some nasty bumps and some other good moves. We had Waller on the outside who kept trying to help Kofi, and Kofi kept denying the help from Waller. So maybe there's some friction there. I have no help. I have no hope for the New Day and whatever comes their way anytime soon. So we get that. We had a nasty fake finish. My heart began to sink a little bit. We had Penta jump off the top rope, get caught with a Trouble in Paradise. I was thinking to myself, no way that they're going to put the title on Kofi, which they didn't, thankfully. They both go up to the top rope. Kofi gets thrown off, and Mexican Destroyer, boom, end the match. But then after the match, we have our Penta promo. I thought he was just going to do his normal Mexican stuff where he hypes up the crowd, tells you can do anything in life. But he delivers a bombshell of an announcement. We have a intercontinental ladder match at WrestleMania. Now, this is what the people want to see. I want to see the list. Let me list off the names that have been announced so far. We got absolute psychopaths. We have, obviously, Penta. We have Dragon Lee. We have the young OG Javon Evans, Rusev, and JD McDonough. Now, this match may steal the absolute show, and someone's going to end up dying. Every single one of these performers are absolutely out of their mind, insane. I am stoked for this match. And they said that's all that's announced right now. There still could be 1, 2, 3 more people. I'm thinking maybe one, because that'd be 6. But I am absolutely hyped up for this match. This match is going to steal the show. This match is going to be a banger. And it's going to get the crowd. The crowd's going to go crazy for this match. So we have our answer with Penta. That's what I was worried about constantly, week after week after week. What are we going to do with Penta? We're going to build something up with Penta, or is he just going to do an open challenge type of thing at WrestleMania? No, we got our answer. It is a ladder match. And I am so thankful. Everyone is thankful for that. WWE did the right thing here. So another great match, smooth match, better announcement, ladder match at Mania. Oh, another thing I almost forgot is we had Finn Balor with a little vignette. He challenged Dom to a WrestleMania match. Nothing big there. Kind of mad they did it in like a vignette type of scenario, but we get Finn versus Dom at WrestleMania. So that's good. And now for some things I have some questions about. I'm not too mad about, but we had a Paul Heyman segment. He's basically going at Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce comes out, tells him that Seth Rollins is now medically cleared. Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes out, hits Paul Heyman in the back with the steel chair, is going for a stomp onto the steel chair, and Gunther attacks Seth and puts him in a sleeper, puts him to sleep on the announce table. Now, my immediate reaction to this was just pure confusion. I mean, Gunther has nothing to do with either of these two, but after it hit me for a while, this is basically all they had. This is what they had to do. There's nothing going for Gunther right now. There's nothing going for Seth right now with Bronson and Braun out. So, I mean, they kind of just had to just throw this together and just throw this on us and say, here's your match at Mania, just to get these two on the card, which I'm not mad about. The match is going to be good. The real question is, what are they going to do after? Is this like a one-time hit is for Paul Heyman? Because Gunther hasn't been aligned with anyone for the past months or years. He's been his own singles. He's just been a singles character. But now, is he aligned with Paul Heyman just for this one time? I don't know. But yeah, this was basically just to throw both these men on the Mania card, because neither of these guys can be forced to miss it. And they keep saying career killer for Gunther. Everyone knows Seth's career ain't nowhere near close to being done. So that's out the window. But I'm glad that they throw these two on the card. Where does it go from here? After Mania? I don't know. I have no idea. Do they build up a rivalry? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm glad they got both these two on the card. A little bit confused, but excited to see what happens. And then we had the last match on the card was Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Good match. Nothing crazy here. Raquel looks powerful. She looks good as normal. And Io Sky, everyone knows Io Sky. But the ending of the match was the Kabuki Warriors come to the ring, and Asuka's being abusive towards Kairi Sane. Io notices it and then does a suicide dive. And this is an actual suicide dive. She landed on her fucking neck. Her whole body, she nicked the bottom rope and absolutely landed on her neck. This was brutal looking. Asuka still sells for it. But, so she gets back in the ring, gets Tahana bombed. Raquel wins. Now, where does this go from here? It has to be setting up a Mania match between Kairi, Asuka, and Io Sky. I'm kind of concerned that they're not going to put it on the match. They're not going to put it on Mania, but I really hope they do, because I see no other possible route for Io Sky. I really don't give a shit about the other two, but I want to see Io Sky on Mania. So they might as well just put these three in there and have some type of face turn, heel turn, something. I just pray that Io Sky does not miss Mania. I just love watching her perform. So, and I think this is the only route for her as of right now. We had the announcement of John Cena being the host of WrestleMania. That's cool. And then we had the Roman and CM Punk segment to end the show. And boy, do I got some words for this. Fuck you, WWE. I mean, they started this rivalry off with a bang, and now it's fizzled out. The two main events to me have fizzled out. I am more interested in the build-ups to these mid-level, the mid-card titles and these other feuds than I am to these main events. I mean, it started off good. They get into Roman calling Punk old for the last several weeks, and then we just get... Last week, Roman beats up Punk, and then this week, Punk interrupts Roman and beats him up. Just, with security surrounding them. It's just so fucking lazy. It's fucking stupid. It's just horrible. I mean, it's just... All this is to fill show. That's all these segments are, is to fill show. And when they post on Twitter, they could say... Roman and CM Punk are in the building face to face. That's all this is to sell tickets and get views, obviously, which is what they're trying to do, but it's just fucking lazy and it's boring. Ends up with Punk beating up Roman, hitting him with GTS and sending him through the powerbombing through the announce table. It's the same shit over and over, just secure. It's horrible. WWE, this has been really lazy. I feel like maybe they're just running out of material to use on each other on the mic, because this is just pathetic in my opinion. Both of the main events, Cody and Randy, especially with the beginning of the show with Stephanie McMahon, just lost all steam to me. That pissed me off. And then we get this. I mean, they were chanting, the crowd was eating it up, but you kind of have to if you're at the show, if you're paying $100 million for a ticket. So I just think that it was just a lazy ending of the show. Show started off real slow, got better, and then the end just kind of pissed me off, left me wondering, like, come on, what are we doing here? So... overall, I would give this show maybe like I'd give it an 8 out of 10 just because we got a lot of answers for Mania, but some real down spots in my opinion. So, we'll be back next week, or we'll be back later this week, and I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.